Is there a South African view of Razzie, Craig? Is there, like, because we kind of view him as this mad scientist, this kind of eccentric figure who does stupid things on Twitter from time to time, gets into those spats with referees, etc., but manages obviously to get a team humming and playing some fantastic rugby. And like we've seen in these past couple of days, taking the heat off his coaching staff ahead of a World Cup semi-final. Like, is there a general South African view of him down there?
Well, I can't really speak for everyone, but I'll say this.
Try him, Craig. Ron, you're a spokesperson for the entire nation now.
Yeah, there we go. Look, I think you'll have to search far and wide to find someone who doesn't like Rassie Erasmus in South Africa, who doesn't literally worship the ground he walks on. I mean, he's become a symbol for all that's good about the country in some ways, and the country's, as you guys know, is going through some pretty tough times. We're having rolling blackouts and energy crisis and what have you. And the Springboks are the last sort of thing that feels like it works in South Africa. That works properly. And Rassie's at the tip of that spear. He's the guy that got them working. So, South Africa has a complex history with the Springboks, depending on your background, but pretty much the country is always tied up in the fortunes of the Springboks in one way or another. And the ride for the last 5 or 6 years with Erasmus and Ninabe, but Erasmus in this case, as he's certainly the man who started it all, has been nothing short of phenomenal through a very difficult period for South Africa as a country, and obviously the world through COVID. But when you've got a country that's struggling, COVID hits, it struggles even more than a country that's better equipped to handle it. So we've had some severe challenges, and the Springboks just remain the one thing that people can really look at with pride in South Africa. And I mean, I'm trying to make, when Siya Kolisi says we play for the people, they mean it. They understand it. They saw it firsthand in 2019, if they didn't know it properly when they got home, and the bus tours. And they really do. And they might be rugby players and quite well paid, but they're not immune. Everyone has families struggling with rolling blackouts, and everyone has families going through really tough times, even the players. So they're very connected to what it means to be an average South African, and they understand their role in just lightening that burden slightly. And Erasmus is certainly viewed in South Africa as the guy who's built that.
Erasmus spoke really warmly about Siya Kolisi actually the other day, and what he brings as a leader and a spokesperson, I guess, for the team.
I've known Siya since he was a junior rugby player at Western Province, so I've watched him grow up, if you like, and I don't know him well personally. We don't hang out and those kind of things, but I've just watched him through the rugby program, and he started out as a naughty young 20-year-old, playing good rugby and getting into a bit of trouble off the field, living in a house with his best mate Scurro and Tabeni, who played one test for the Springboks as a hooker at the Stormers. And I think their agent put them in a house in the early days, and they got up to mischief, as 20-year-olds will do. And I think there were a few other players staying there at the time. It was about 4 or 5 Western Province under-20s in one house, so you can just imagine what that place would have looked like on most days. And they've sort of grown up, and he's grown up, and he became Springbok, and he was a senior player, and he even said it to me once that it was Robbie Fleck, the former Stormers coach, who said to him, "Look, you need to grow up now. You're 25 or whatever he was at the time, 24, but you've been playing first-class rugby for 4 or 5 years. You're a Springbok. It's time you actually take some responsibility and be a man." And he said that speech from Robbie Fleck really just changed his mind. He didn't really see himself as a leader, even though he has all this natural charisma and people gravitate towards him, and he's a very warm individual. He didn't sort of see it himself, but when someone pointed it out to him like that, and so Fleck's solution to it was to make him captain of the Stormers. Thrust it upon him because Fleck could see it. And Rassie took the same view in 2018, even though he wasn't the most senior Springbok at that point. I suppose Dwayne Vermeulen would have been favourite to be Springbok captain, or Etzebeth had already been captain. And he just went, no, Siya Kolisi's got to be captain. I think it was partly also to change the image of the Springboks to the nation. He has a black captain. This is a guy, everyone in South Africa, you're all welcome to get behind this team. And it's done just that.